All right, guys, welcome to Dragon Works. We got the 1984 Honda XL350R here. Don't mind the mess. This section of the shop is under construction, and still finishing my benches here to work on. I want to get some front wheel clamps put on, but right now the show must go on. I got work to do. Plus, I got to set this side of the shop up. We're starting to get some things accomplished here. You'll see. We'll get it. But anyway, like I say, the show must go on. So, customer bought this out of a collection. A guy had supposedly like a whole warehouse full of old bikes and everything. And he bought this and it hasn't been running in a while. So, he brought it to me to go over the thing and to get it running right. And that's what we're going to do. So very first things first, as always, I want to pull the spark plug out and I want to do a compression test on the motor. And then I want to start getting it stripped down so I can get to the carburetors and all that good stuff. The tank is real clean and it's got fresh gas in it. So I imagine somebody was trying to get it fired up here. Seems like it's fresh gas anyway, but real nice piece. Like I say, just been sitting for a little bit. But excellent condition. I can't wait to get this shop all set up so I can start doing some real nice videos in here. But like I say, still under construction, so I won't be showing a lot of things yet. You'll see it when we get it all done. It's going to be pretty sweet. And this side will be mostly restoration, final assembly on custom builds and things like that. And then I'll do more of the real dirty work over on the old section that you guys are used to. So anyway, I got to get started. Let's dig into it, shall we? Okay, guys, I'm going to start stripping her down a little bit here. Sorry about the noise of the fan. This side of the shop, I do not have the air conditioning, and it's in the mid-80s and humid here the next couple days, and it's supposed to cool off again. Yeah, I gotta get some more shelves and all that good stuff. Like I said, hey, humble beginnings, man. Just gonna have to bear with it. It's all about the work, not the shop. That's what matters when you're in business. So yeah, just going to get it torn down here a little bit so we can access everything. Get the seat off, the tank off. Do a compression test like I talked about. And whew, it is hot in here. I don't know how long I'll be able to take this, guys. Nah, I can take it. I lived in Texas and worked outside for a while. I lived in Florida and worked outside. So, yeah. I can take the heat. There goes the washer. And I'm not afraid to work, that's for sure. Matter of fact, I like it because I could always outwork everybody. I didn't have much going for me in life, but I could outwork anybody, what I was known for. And that allowed me to move up really fast. When I worked construction, I moved up to a foreman real quick and a supervisor, and then I started my own construction company, and then I got tired of playing out in the dirt and the heat all the time and dealing with inspectors and everything else. Alrighty, looks like we got the, here, let's see. I got the toolkit out here. I got to get a little tool cart again. I don't have my tool cart anymore. And that'll allow me to get some tools from the other side and bring them over on a cart and do this for a while until, like I said, until I get really set up here and get rolling. Anyway, yeah, since I worked so hard, I was able to move up fast in the ranks. And so I was pretty young when I became a construction foreman. And I always worked on bikes on the side ever since, well, I worked on bikes ever since I was a little kid, and somebody bought me one of these little, you remember the mini bikes that had the little lawnmower motor and you had to pull start it? Well, somebody bought me one of them. It was a boyfriend of my mother's. And yeah, it ran good for the first couple days, and then it started running like crap, so I had to figure out how to start it and figure out how to make the thing run, and that's kind of where it took off. All right, let's see what we got here, where we're at. So that was pretty fast there, huh? Just take off a few things, and now we can access everything. Don't mind the mess in the background. I got construction going on. So here we go. Now we can access some things and see what we're working with. He did bring me a new battery. I'm not sure yet if it's the right one. Oops, sorry. Let's get the camera on here. Anyway, he brought a new battery. I'm not sure if it's the right one. We're going to be getting the carburetors off and go through these regardless, because we want to make sure everything's good. We're going to check for some spark here real quick before we move on. I just pulled the plug out like you saw. So stand by a second. Let me get it set up to check for spark. Okay, let's see. I think I can just crank it over by hand over here. See what you get without the plug in it. Did you guys see it? Let me get up here. Maybe I better do it with my foot so I can see. Yeah, we got a little spark. Can you see it? Let me zoom in a little bit for you, just in case you can't see it. And then I got something interesting, I guess, to say. All right, let me get the camera moved over. This is a crazy angle here. All right, let's see what you guys can see here. Okay, so I hope you can see that. One thing I do know about these bikes, from personally, I had a 250, an XL350R, and one thing I learned was it had a battery in it when I got it, and I didn't really care. The thing would start and run and all the lights would work, and that was fine. But what I did realize was it always took like 5 or 6 good kicks to get the thing started. And then one day I decided that I would just go ahead and replace that battery. And when I did, the thing would start on the first kick every time. And it's not so much that the battery helps with the spark, but when you don't have the battery hooked up and you're trying to start it, it pulls all the lights and everything is pulling off the stator, and it actually pulls a little bit of power away from your coil and all that kind of stuff. So I know this battery in here is dead. We're going to put another one in like I talked about. We're not worried about that. What we want to know is that all these components are working. And as you saw there, it was sparking. So stand by. Okay, got you set up here, you guys. Sorry. You guys can watch that while I kick it. Supposed to be 190 psi or something like that. We'll double check all that stuff, but see what we can come up with. Now this bike is kick only. There's no electric start on it. What we get, guys? Oh. Okay. Well, of course, you know that's no good. Okay, I kicked it a little bit more here. Whoops, sorry. Once again. And I got it up to about 80, but that's still still something's up here. So like I say, doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong with the motor. It could be something going on with that compression release and what have you. So I'm going to dig a little bit more, but like I said, from what I understand, it's supposed to have like 190 PSI on it when you do a test. So could be valve related. They could be a little dirty and they're not shutting quite all the way. Could be a bunch of stuff. That number could come up quite a bit, but definitely need to look into that here a little bit. Typical, looks like fork seal's been leaking a good bit here. Sure enough. You guys can see here where the oil's been running out there. You can glance, hard to see with the light over there, but you can see where it's been running out of that one. Fork seals are shot in it. And we're definitely going to have to do the carburetors and whatnot. So anyway, going to get it stripped down here a little bit more so I can get the carbs off and get them done. And I'll probably lube up the cylinder, see if maybe the rings are stuck. We'll see if we can't get that compression to come up here a little bit, okay? All right, stand by. It ain't over till it's over. Hey, just real quick, guys. Sorry, I didn't actually video this. It's hard to do because I got to keep moving around the bike and everything, but here's a pro tip for anybody who is trying to get these carburetors off of one of these XL350s. The trick is, of course, you unhook everything first as much as you can, and these air duct here are really, really flexible. If yours are hard, then you're in trouble. But you can bend these back out of the way and then slide your carburetors back out of these boots and then go down, because as you see, the frame's at an angle. So you just go down below until these spigots are below the boots, and then it comes right out. Sounds easy enough, but of course these things try to catch here, and you got to keep moving these around. When you get your hand on here, you can bend these back and what have you. But that's the trick, is to get them back and then down and out. So it wasn't easy. It was a little tough. It took 3 hands, even though I only have 2. So 4 hands probably would have been much better. Somebody can hold that while you're doing it. But anyway, I got the carbs off of there, and I want to get them apart and make sure what the gasket looks like before I order the kits, because it never fails. They always end up sending the wrong ones. But you can see there what's going on. It doesn't take long to make a mess. I got tools everywhere already. No matter what tools you get, you're always going to need some other tool you don't have. Anyway, I'm going to get the carbs apart, see what we got going on there, and what we need to order. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak down the cylinder here a little bit in some Marvel Mystery Oil and let that sit overnight. And then I'll come back and I'll kick the motor over and then let that settle. And then I'll try another compression test. And the other thing we'll be doing is we'll also be popping off the caps here and checking and adjusting the valves and making sure we don't have anything crazy going on there. And we're going to see if we can't get that compression up on that motor. I don't believe anything's wrong with it. It does have a lot of miles. Not really, but let's see if I can do this from down here. 7,000 miles is not a lot, but sometimes on these, if somebody rode it like real hard on the highway for 7,000 miles, it's possible the rings are bad. But I just don't see these motors with low compression very often. So I think it's going to come up. I think the rings might be stuck a little. The valves might be a little bit dirty. So we're going to work on getting that stuff loosened up before we get too concerned about the compression test. How's that sound? All right, guys. Bear with me here. Okay, guys. Not super terrible, but just bad enough. You can see the jets are going to be all clogged up. That's typical what happens. That's the main jet. Underneath of there, that tube is going to have the pilot jet, and that's definitely going to be clogged up. Anyway, we get a new kit. It'll give us a new needle and new gasket and jets and everything. and or we'll clean the old jets up, depends on what the kit comes with. But not super bad. I always want to get the bow off and take a look, like I was saying earlier, what gasket's in here, because they'll usually try to send you the wrong gasket, or they will send you the wrong gasket, and then you got to wait another week for the right gasket to come in. So anyway, all in all, apparently, or well, the customer says that they used to have somebody, hang on, I'm shooting one hand and trying to work with the other. They had somebody that was keeping these bikes running for a while, and then that person wasn't able to do it. So they started sitting, and the guy got older and couldn't take care of them and what have you. So they ended up started sitting quite a bit. So definitely not going to run with these carburetors. They're going to have to be rebuilt and cleaned up here a little bit. So anyway, guys, we're going to end it there for now. And when I get to working back on getting the compression up and everything, then we'll revisit this thing and we'll start the video again. So appreciate you all watching. This is going to be it for now. Stay tuned for the next part. Yeah, it didn't take me long to make a mess. Got tools everywhere. But anyway, that's where we're at right now. Stay tuned for the next part. Sorry about that. Had a little distraction. Anyway, yeah, stay tuned for the next part. I've already said that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out.